Alright, let's do some pseudo testing here. So, Michael and Amemori are very similar in my book, so I kind of want to see if I was to use only one of them on a team, who would I probably prefer to take with me? Now, let's just jump in while I kind of talk a little bit about what I think some of the differences are between them, because there's a whole bunch of like things that make them stand apart from each other. But generally, it's kind of like, who would I probably prefer to use most of the time? So probably the one main thing that kind of pops up in my mind is Amemori is a little bit more RNG dependent than Michael. The reason that is the case is that Amemori's chain combo will let you like spawn more like swords for her to use for her active skill. And that is RNG based, like where it places those swords. If those swords are placed in good locations, then you're not going to have to, waste some of your energy or currency to basically teleport to those spots there. So there's a little bit of an RNG element there. There is some consistency with her as well because you can place those katanas yourself. But ideally, you just want to get lucky, right? You just want to get lucky. You want to be right next to the boss with those swords. And then you want to have a lot of them close to the boss as well. So there is that RNG element to it. Michael, on the other hand, doesn't really have, like, any RNG elements, like, at all. She's just consistent, She kind of scales off of, like, her active skill, like, her chain combo skills, all that sort of thing. But she's just consistent, You can always expect, like, the same thing, like, all the time. So, just right away, like, you can kind of tell there's going to be variations between the two of them, right? You bring Michael, you're going to expect more consistency. You bring Amemori into the same stage like Calamity Codex, you're gonna see a little bit of variance there. So now, like, obviously this testing is gonna be very, like, kind of loose, per se. Even having Umet here, is Umet, right? Umet here is, like, not the greatest, because he does have a little bit of RNG in his kit, right? Because he does sometimes spawn, like, a attack buff, which obviously skews the results. But I feel like generally you can sort of, like, tell the difference of what they're good for, like, what situations they'll excel at, that sort of thing. So, I think that's basically some of the main differences. Otherwise, like, their branding are very different as well. Amemori is flagged as a converter, and then you have Michael, who's flagged as a detonator. So that right there kind of, like, dictates a little bit, right? Like, some of the expectations. Here, let's go use this here, actually. Yeah, let's go use this. So, and then obviously, as you could probably tell, they're both teleporters as well. They can both teleport. Yeah, Michael is a detonator. Amemori is a converter. So, that right there should sort of say that Amemori has worse stats, because that's typically how it works, right? Is the converter will usually have less stats than the detonator. But actually, this case is actually not that different. I actually have both Michael and Amemori at the same exact everything. Like, they both have plus 10 equipment skill. They have the same affinity level. They have the same, like, actual level. I can show all of this, like, afterwards as well. But they're basically identical to each other right now. And basically that just means, I mean, the converter thing doesn't really matter that much. I mean, the scalings are also very similar as well. Like, if you were to look at the scalings, you would see that, like, their chain combo, like, scaling is very, very, very similar. Very similar. Like, to the point that I would maybe even say the main differences between these two characters is their equipment skill. Because the scaling on their chain combo is very similar. It's just, their active skill is also pretty similar as well. I mean, Michael has damage with their active skill whenever you use it, but technically also Amemori's active skill has damage. It's just, a little confusing in that regard, but that's just some of the thoughts with both of them, really. It's very interesting. Like, they're both pretty similar. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like, right there, we have the attack buff, which, kind of skews the results a little bit, but, I mean, RNG's RNG, baby. That's the game we're playing right now. RNG simulator. And I did do some tests before this video as well. I did, like, do a couple runs with both this exact team, and kind of was looking at, what situation would these, or not the situation, but what would be like some of the expected like damage output? And from what I concluded, it's pretty similar. Like, it's pretty similar. I don't know if it matters too much, but it's also like, you know, it could also just be wrong anyway because of like RNG elements, like what was I thinking at the time, how I handled certain situations. You know, it's all just, it depends situations, unfortunately. But yeah, even then technically, it's just like you can still use both these characters together. It's not a big deal. You can use both these characters together. But if you have one or the other, I guess it's a little bit different. If you had to pick one over the other, like for a banner or something, but that's not really sort of what I'm testing. Basically, just like, who would I rather have if I had both of them in this situation? Because otherwise, I would probably just recommend both of them. Like, they're honestly both, like, already so good that, like, the differences don't really seem to be that big to me. They're, you know, pretty similar. And also, it's also worth factoring that Amemori also is playing into the whole captain swap meta, where basically she benefits from captain swapping. Okay, so basically, we had 3 rounds remaining, and we had 305k damage, essentially. So once we do the testing with Amemori here, we're going to cut it off once we have 3 rounds remaining, because, I mean, it's sort of fair. In a sense, it's also not the greatest methodology, because you could also make the claim that with Amemori, you wouldn't be dying that early. But, you know, just for the sake of, you know, just testing, we're going to do that. Alright, so here's the other team. We're going to try and mimic the same path as much as possible, as much as I can remember. But, you know, once we get towards the end, this is starting to deviate. And also, just the fact they're just different characters, right? We're going to have more access to Amemori's teleport than we are Michael's. Because that's sort of just the way it works. You know, she doesn't have cooldowns or anything. So if we get lucky with the placement of the swords, then this doesn't matter, right? So we're going to go place this down here as well. And then we need to use all the yellow tiles here. So we're mimicking the last one. So we're not going to be able to see probably how much damage we get to the end, but we'll just see what happens here. We'll see what happens. One thing I will also say for Amemori as well is her chain combo is not as good to use. In the sense that it doesn't have a really good, like, shape to it. It's a lot harder to hit things with Amemori's chain combo than it is Michael's. Michael's is just like this kind of sporadic rectangle shape, while Amemori has more of just a linear path to it. So it's a lot harder to get damage with her chain combo skill as well. And I should also mention that her katanas, sorry, are limited to like her chain combo like damage shape. So if she does a chain combo, she will put down those katanas in the shape somewhere where her katanas will spawn. So that is important to note as well. So here we could actually teleport. Do we want to teleport? We could. We do get another katana here if we do place one. I think we might as well. No, we'll save it for now. We'll save it for now, I think. But one of the nice things about Amemori as well is that she just has some ignored defense, which is really nice. But it also kind of scales with her, like the amount of katanas there is, like how close those katanas are to the boss. So there is a lot to these characters that kind of have like you know, add these conditions to this little test here. See, what do I want to do now though? See, both of these kind of things are awkward here, I think. But I have an idea, so we'll do this. So like I said, she's like a part of that kind of like captain swap meta, so we just swap through the captain. Now we can just go all the way up here. Do I want to though? You know what? I regret that decision. I'm not going to do that. Mainly because I need to be right here. Because I want that katana damage on the boss. So we'll TP to the boss. We're at like 82k. Let's go TP. 125k. Like, I wanted to teleport far away, but just like, I just couldn't do it, guys. Because that's a lot of, you know, katana damage. A lot of katana damage. We'll swap back here. Because we want Amemori in the back. I'd rather have my sniper in front. like, for obvious reasons. We'll go do this, do a little bit of damage. Yeah, very good. So remember, we need to stop at 3 rounds. And once that happens, we'll do some of the damage comparisons. And I'll kind of share with you what some of my other, like, runs, what happened in my other runs. For now, we're just trying to finish this run here. Knock this guy away, because I know it's just going to kill. This is all stuff I've done before. I was messing with these ads before, all of this stuff. It's all, you know, just repeats. Just stuff I've been already doing. You guys know. You guys know. Let's go over here. Like, I want these yellow tiles. Unamet's going to allow me to use all these yellow tiles here. Nice. Perfect. Let's see. We might have to swap around. Nope, we're good, actually. I was thinking we might have to swap around units so we can very easily get all these tiles by teleporting with a memory, but we don't have to do that. Because the D came up as well. Perfect. Love to see it. But now, okay, yeah, we just run it down, basically. Let's go do some of this. That should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm not too concerned about it, if that's the most optimal or not. That shield there is actually not too bad, not too bad. If we were trying to survive longer, but we should survive, you know, till 3 rounds remaining, so I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned. So, ooh, back again, huh, with the Aurora time. It's acting like I'm surprised, like, I knew when I pathed there it was gonna be an Aurora time. Oh well. Oh well. Ouch. Okay, so now what we're probably gonna do is, yeah, we're probably just gonna... I was gonna say we're probably gonna teleport, but just like, I want to teleport close to the boss. Very annoying, very unfortunate. I want this damage on the boss here. I really, really want this damage on the boss. I don't want it to go on this unit here, which is one of the flaws, really, with memory here. That, man, I don't want to teleport down there. It's so, like, such a waste of damage. But we'll go do this. So we're at 190k damage. We'll go TP to this katana we just put down. Down to 225k damage. Like, that deals a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, how far does the memory go? Oh, it goes pretty far, actually. Oh, I see you. I see you. Let's just do this, I think, though. Is it a waste? It could be. It could be a waste, but like I said, we only have like 3 rounds left, so it really doesn't matter too much. We'll try and do as much healing and some shenanigans as we go. We'll get some damage here as well with the chain combo. Yeah, not that bad. These placement of these katanas aren't that bad, actually. Those are actually pretty decent placement of those katanas. I am gonna go kill this boss here, though. Not the boss, the like little ad up here in the corner. Like, I really want to kill as many of these ads as much as possible so we get these katanas on the bots. The thing that's awkward, though, is, like I said, is if there's just a million ads everywhere, it's going to be very difficult to, like, get the katana directly on the boss. I mean, you could just place the katana on the boss, like so. But it's just like, I would just rather just have it on the boss, you know? I just want it on the boss to begin with. Just let me have that, right? Just let me have it. We're going to place a tile here. I'm going to do it here. I want these katanas to be as close. Oh, actually, no. I just realized I can't do that. I was going to place a katana, like, over here and TP to it, but I just realized, obviously, I can't do that. I'm going to go here. I'm going to hope that the boss is closer than Unamet, the ghost here. Hoping? Come on. Ah. Unlucky. Okay. So, yeah, that was also something you can look at to see some of the issues with this here, but it, you know, it is what it is. That's just the part of her kit. You gotta work around the ads. You gotta work around the ads with Michael. That's not really something you have to like worry too much about. You know. Let's see. What do we want to do here, though? At this point, we just need to kind of milk as much damage as possible. Maybe do this. Teleport. Do some teleporting. It's important. Do some porn. Ooh. Is this an Aurora time here? This is Aurora time, right? Yeah. Man, I just need to be on the boss here, I think. Just need to be on the boss, because there's no point just going around, right? Oh, I realistically can't go around. So it doesn't really matter too much. Let's go get some of our damage in. And that should be it, right? Yeah, I mean, 3 remaining rounds here, so that should be it. So let's go and make the kind of like final damage comparisons here. Alright, so to kind of conclude the video here, basically we ended up with a 12k damage difference, with Michael dealing more damage than Amemori in this current video. So in my previous runs, actually that was different from what I experienced. Amemori, in the 2 runs I tested with both trying Michael and Amemori, Amemori came out on top both times. She actually did quite a bit more damage than Michael did. But it was really just I had better RNG, right? The shurikens, not the shurikens, the samurai blades, whatever you want to call it, were placed in better spots. I was getting more of them. It just ended up being better because I was able to get more damage on the boss because of those placements of those blades. And there were also no ads, so it was kind of skewed in a way. Also, like, at the very end, when I hit the ad with those samurai swords, if those hit the boss, I could easily see this being tied up here. So realistically, it really is just RNG. Amemori is the RNG version of Michael, but she also kind of has a higher reward than Michael. But this is all accounting for, you know, 0 ascensions on both characters. So I'll go and quickly show both of them, kind of to show that both of them are, you know, fair comparisons right now. Yes, give me all the things, okay? Give me the things. And now let's go over here. We'll go look at it. We have Michael, you know, 2 breakthroughs. We have equipment, you know, level 10 equipment. We have affinity 7. And then we have Amemori, you know, affinity 7, equipment 10. And also breakthrough 2. So basically, one big thing also to note as well, if you have breakthroughs, right? If you have breakthroughs, I would much rather probably have Michael in most situations, because Michael actually adds quite a bit of damage potential to her kit. So if we go and look at her breakthroughs, basically this is uses chain combo once at the location after teleporting. So she just gets more damage. She's gonna just deal more damage. And then her last breakthrough is she gets preemptive, which preemptive is obviously very nice to have. So this will help in Calamity Codex situations as well. So she's going to be a lot better option with breakthroughs than she currently is now. As opposed to Amemori, where her breakthroughs don't really matter too much, right? Especially for Calamity Codex. It's, you know, she just gains the extra ninja power at the start of each wave. Also, she gets an extra captain change, which is, you know, whatever. She just gets 1 extra stack, basically, from captain swapping. So it's really not a big deal at all. So realistically, trying to just kind of put a cap on this here. Amemori is just a more RNG version of Michael. Realistically. Whether she has like a higher damage cap or not, it's not really too big of a deal, I don't think. Especially down the line, if you play this game for years on end, Michael's gonna have, you know, more breakthroughs. At least a more important breakthrough than Amemori. So Michael's gonna be a little bit more consistent. But, you know, Amemori is cool. She has that RNG aspect to her, which does make her deal a little bit less damage in certain situations, but it also could be more. They're both very cool characters. I do suggest just using whoever you want if you have both of them, because they're both very cool characters. I'm probably going to use both of them, because why not? I can just use both Michael and Amemori. But if I had to choose between one of them, it would just realistically be who's more consistent, and also, can I go with a little bit of RNG if I want to go for a little bit more of a kind of like min-max, like deal as much damage as I possibly can? Because Amemori can deal some really good damage with their equipment skill. So I think I'm going to put a cap on this here. What do you guys think of this Michael versus Amemori thing here? They're just pretty similar in my book, so I wanted to make this video. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.